Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video, and I'm really excited today because today is an unboxing video, but a little bit different from some of the unboxing videos we've done before because these books are raw comics, so not unboxing any graded comics today. And yeah, these comics here are the first raw comics I've purchased in quite a while. These are new comics too. I mean, as the title says, not really keeping a secret here, but it's House of X #1. Two variants I have in this box. And yeah, before we get going here, I gotta say a big shout out to Justice for Comics and Metaphorical. You know, two of my guys from our Night and Nerdy podcast group on Wednesday. And they, on air, on our Wednesday night podcast, they brought this issue to my attention. I had a look at it. I really liked it. You know, I don't want to give away too much. I want to just keep a secret of what variant cover or who it is. But when they showed me the cover, I really liked it because I'm a big fan of the superhero on the cover. And I was going to grab a House of X #1 anyway, but probably just like the normal House of X cover. But because I really like the superhero, it just kind of worked out perfectly. And this variant too, it's a 1 of 1,000, and I got 2 of them here. So 2 of 1,000 these will be. So let's get right to it. And again, yeah, big thanks to Metaphorical and Justice for Comics. They're both really on top of the new variant market, just all the new comics coming out. Just as far as like what new comics have first appearances in it, what new comics are hot right now for whatever reason it might be. I will put Justice for Comics and Metaphorical's link in the description below. Yeah, Justice for Comics is really on top of all the new stuff, all the new comics each week. He kind of does a lot of videos throughout the week to identify which kind of the new comics are basically the best ones. And Metaphorical, I'll also put his link in the description below. He's doing videos and live podcasts during the week, and you know, talking a lot about those meta trends that you know, can kind of come and go. And if you're into sort of shorter term speculation, rather than, you know, me, I'm kind of a longer term investor type person. And that's what's great about, you know, all three of us on Wednesday night on Night and Nerdy. We really got like 3 different, you know, views of collecting comics and investing in comics. So, yeah, it gets really interesting in our talks. But those two guys were the ones that kind of let me know about these 2 variant covers, and I was really pumped to when I saw them to grab them. And I basically grabbed them while we were live on our podcast last week. Okay, so I don't get raw comics too much, so it'll kind of be a bit of a surprise here as far as shape. Actually, yeah, it looks like they did a really good job shipping everything. So I'm kind of trying not to show you just so I can... Okay, yeah, they're on the inside. Now, House of X, if you're not too familiar with it, it's that Jonathan Hickman's new kind of reboot of X-Men, I would say. And I haven't read this one yet. It's not out on Marvel Unlimited yet. So I haven't read it yet, but I did look up some of the story. And it looks pretty cool. It's like Professor Xavier has a sort of island nation at this point, is his sort of idea of an island mutant nation. And he's kind of trying to bring in the humans, and there's always, you know, in X-Men, there's always like these ethical dilemmas, I think. But Charles Xavier, Professor Xavier, he has like a suit now with this thing on his head, so he's not kind of sitting in a chair, so that's a little bit different. But yeah, just in general, doing a little bit of research for this video, and that's essentially the story is Charles Xavier setting up a new island mutant country colony, I guess. And he's sort of trying to bring the mutants in by sort of giving them these 3 drugs that, like, one increases your life and another one does something else. I'm not too exactly sure. But, yeah, so, you know, starting his own kind of mutant island nation and I guess all of the ethical dilemmas that happen with that. And don't want to get too into the story because I'm sure many of you might have read it already. I'm going to read it probably when it comes out on Marvel Unlimited, or even next time I go to my local shop, if they got a kind of a first print House of X #1, I might just grab it so I can read it. Okay, well, let's get into the variants here. Yes, and these variants were exclusive to a fan expo in Canada, and as I said, Justice for Comics kind of let me know about it because I was unaware of this variant specifically. Yeah, and as I said, it limited to 1,000, this variant, which is pretty cool. I think that was, one of the reasons why I kind of jumped on it, because I did want to get a House of X 1 just to kind of read it, and to, I like first issues too. But then, this kind of limited edition variant with a really cool superhero that I love on the cover, which I'll show you in a sec here. So yeah, I just decided to jump on and grab 2 of these. Probably could only grab 1. I mean, I just thought I'd grab 2. Just to kind of go all in on House of X, I guess. So, sorry, I got one last little tape piece here. I also picked up an Absolute Carnage last night at the comic shop. Just a #1 first print, so that was another book I got. A couple new books this week, which is odd for me. Usually I'm not buying new things, I'm just kind of hunting sort of 80s and 90s CGC 9.8 books. Okay. The new House of X #1 variant that I picked up, and I got 2 of them, are House of X #1, the Gabriel Dell'Otto Wolverine variant. So let's take a look at them first. Kind of come in their own little, polypropylene case. No Mylars, that's okay, I guess. Okay. Yep, they're looking pretty good. Oh, a little nick on this one, so this one's not a 9.8. That's kind of sucks. Let's just... Yeah, I think too, for me, when you get used to looking at CGC 9.8s all the time, yeah, the obvious kind of defects of comics really pop out at you right away. This one could be up there, but I think this one's got a ding on it, so this is probably 9.6. But I don't think I'm going to be sending these in to get graded or anything. So House of X #1 with the Wolverine variant, Gabriel Dell'Otto variant as the cover artist. And yeah, Dell'Otto's super popular, really known for doing these sort of painted covers in that, he has a very distinctive style. A lot of the style is sort of darker, I would say. But, with X-Men a little bit... maybe not as dark, so a little bit of a different style for him. But it still looks really cool. I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I think, some people at this point are getting a little bit, I wouldn't say sick of Wolverine, but they trot him out so often. And I read a review for this House of X #1, and they said one of the reviews was actually kind of commended the writers and Hickman and everyone for not just using Wolverine as a sort of eye-catch bait. Oh, here's Wolverine, just to make sure all our Wolverine fans are fine. So apparently he's not in this book very much. They don't just trot him out to kind of satisfy the Wolverine fans, he's just in it a couple times. And I believe there's only one sort of Wolverine cover, variant cover, with just him on the cover. So House of X, 1 of 6, this is a book I wanted to grab, and when these variant covers got brought to my attention, I thought they were pretty cool, so I thought, why not? And yeah, the sort of touted promotional material for House of X, they say there were 4 seminal moments in X-Men comics in the past, and it was Giant Size X-Men, Age of Apocalypse, the X-Men series, and then the new X-Men series, and then this is the 5th seminal moment in all of X-Men ever. So they're kind of making a big deal out of it. There's going to be 2 miniseries. There's the House of X 1 to 6, and then Powers of X 1 to 6 as well. So yeah, X-Men reboot. I did want to grab a #1 issue, and thanks to Justice for Comics and at Metaphorical again for yeah, letting me know about this variant, and yeah, I picked it up because I thought it was cool. And yeah, there's not much to do on these videos because I don't have any like CGC analysis to do or anything like that, so I guess that'll be it. But yeah, really happy to have a House of X #1, and yeah, these are 1 of 1,000, so 2 of 1,000 here. That's pretty cool. Whenever you can get at least some type of limited numbers in issues, that's a good thing. And oh yeah, and last thing, I will put the link in the description below because these are still available. These were, yeah, $25 US each as well. So $50 US for both of these. They're still available. I'll put the link in the description below. It is, I believe, limited exclusively to this Fan Expo in Canada. They do come from within Canada too. Yeah, Justice for Comics and Metaphorical, they didn't let me know of like any other places where this was, you know, coming from the States. So you would have to kind of order it from within Canada if you were. But yeah, apparently it isn't exclusive to that Comic-Con, and there's only 1,000 of them. So yeah, if you were looking for maybe a little bit more of a limited House of X #1, and you were a Wolverine fan, I think this one is a good way to go, for sure. Okay, but that's going to be it for unboxing video today. A little bit different than normal, just dealing with raw comics and not graded comics. But if you haven't already, please join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8 here, and click that bell to get all the latest notifications as well. But thank you very much for watching this unboxing video, and I'll see you on the next video.